this is Jill from Paper Daisy Crafting. Thank you for joining me again today, pressing play. This is the card, our project for today. Beautiful card using this patterned paper, this DSP, which sadly is no longer available. This was from the Brightly Gleaming pack of papers, foil papers, and sadly it has now sold out. It's been so popular we can't supply it anymore. If you really wanted to get hold of a little bit of this paper, do let me know, because I have got a little stash of my own. I've got like a half pack of the paper which we could do a deal on, but anyway, so I've had to change up the card. I made this card a while ago and haven't managed to record a video about it, and now the paper's out of stock. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to do a similar card but with different papers. What I'm going to use is this paper, which is from the Noble Peacock foiled papers, and this is equally beautiful, not quite so Christmassy. This one had sort of holly and berries and things on it, but this one I think will do the job just as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with a card base, my normal card base, which is 21 by 15 and scored at 10.5. So that's our card base. We then have a panel of very vanilla, which is going to layer onto the card, just there. And this is a ½ centimetre all the way round, smaller, so it measures 14.5 by 10, this panel. Try and remember to put the measurements on my blog. And then your DSP is ½ centimetre smaller again, so that's going to layer on there. So this is 9.5 by 14, and so the layers are going to go together like that. Okay, right, before we layer it all together, we're going to do the decoration on here. So what we're going to do first of all is we're going to take a die cut shape from this set, and I'm trying to remember what it's called and I can't remember. Let me just find my catalogue. Give me 2 seconds. Let's find what those are called, just in case you're interested and haven't bought them yet. If you haven't bought them yet, why haven't you bought them yet? They're absolutely lovely, and they're very, very useful. If you can see them, give me a shout. There they are, stitched nested labels. It's the stitched nested labels there. £33 for 9 dies. You get loads and loads of different sizes, and a straight piece that's stitched as well, which is really useful. Anyway, that's my label, and what we're going to do is we're going to take Old Olive ink, an ink pad, and we are going to take the Deck the Halls stamp from Christmas Gleaming. So this is the set that matched the DSP that's out of stock. So we're going to take that and we're going to stamp that greeting, which I've got already mounted up here, in the centre of our stitch. Now if you're not very confident about stamping in the middle, there are 2 things you can do. You could use a Stamparatus to make sure you get it lined up, and in the new year I'm going to do a whole series on Stamparatus because I haven't done very much with mine, and I've had several inquiries about it, so I'm going to do a whole series about the Stamparatus, so do come back to watch that in the new year. Or if you're not very keen, you could also stamp on card and then die cut it so you can get it exactly positioned. I'm just going to go for it today. Who knows what's going to happen. Hoping it's going to be straight. There we go. And then what I'm going to do, the edges here, I decorated with these little holly stamps, which are from, you might have missed them actually, might even have this set. They're these 2 little holly scrolls up here, which I thought were quite sweet. So what I am going to do is I'm going to take my Old Olive pad again, and I'm going to print one of them there. Oh, didn't stamp it down completely. Good thing about photopolymer is you can get it lined up again. There we go, almost perfect. And then I could do that one over here as well. You could practice this on a scrap piece of card if you're not very confident about stamping straight onto your project. There we go. And I'm going to turn this round, and then I'm going to do a sprig of holly that way, and then I haven't got a straight one, so I'm going to use this one again in the centre like so. There we go. So a little spray of holly there, and then we're going to do exactly the same thing over here, and another one in the middle. There. So you've got 2 little sprays of holly either side of your Deck the Holly greeting. And then what we're going to do, so that's going to layer on. Now on this one I used copper because the foiling is copper on here. This time I'm using gold, although I'm going to use a little bit of ribbon, and it is copper on the ribbon. I don't think that matters very much. Right, so I'm going to layer this on here. So I've got a bigger nested label and a smaller one, and I'm going to use tear and tape to attach that, because as you know this is not porous, and if you try and use liquid glue it will hold for a while, but it might not hold for very long because there's nothing for the glue to grab onto. So there we go. So a little bit of tear and tape on there. Just find my tweezers. So, where are my tweezers gone? There they are. There we go. So I hope you've been having a nice day. I'm just about, I keep thinking I've finished my Christmas crafting, and then I keep having more ideas. So I keep coming up with ideas. So probably I'll still be posting Christmas ideas right up to Christmas Eve, which will be far too late for anyone to do anything about it. Maybe you can stash the ideas for next year. There we go. So, and we're going to put that, we're going to layer that on here, trying to keep the distances the same all the way around so that it looks centered like that. Okay, so that's going to go on there. But first, I'm going to use 2 tiny scraps of ribbon to put Merry on one side and just about Christmas on the other, although it doesn't quite fit. So again, I'm going to take tear and tape, and I'm going to put, I've actually measured to the centre. I don't know if you can see my tiny little pencil mark. I actually measured to the centre of my card so I know where it's got to go. So I'm going to put my tear and tape over that mark, and my tear and tape over this mark, like so. And then I'm going to take my piece of ribbon and I'm going to put it as close, put the M of the Merry as close to the edge as I can. If I could get the backing off my tear and tape, that would help. There we go. So I'm going to put this as close to the edge as I can so that I get most of the Merry showing. And then on this one, I'm going to put the S of the Christmas as close to the edge so I get most of Christmas. There we go. Right, okay, and then when I put that on there, we've got just about got Merry Christmas. Okay, I'm going to need to trim those off because they are overlapping the edges. So just take some scissors and use the edge of the card to trim so you get a lovely straight edge there. And then again, because we're sticking this onto foil, I'm going to use tear and tape to stick this down. Love my tear and tape. So I'm going to use tear and tape to stick this down. Like so. And take all the backing off. Oh my goodness, can you hear the, I don't know if you can hear the music in the background. My husband is giving a guitar lesson. And I hadn't realised when I started recording that he was going to start teaching guitar quite so soon. Hey ho, nice musical accompaniment. There we go. There. And that's basically all there is to this card. I actually love this colour scheme. I'm liking this. Quite like it a bit more than the other one. Right, so we need a bit of Tombow. On the back here. Close to the edges as you can get it. Oh yeah, that's okay. There we go. So that's going to go onto here. And if you notice, I do the final thing onto the card blank last, just in case I mess anything up. and ruin it, so I don't waste quite so much material. There we go, that'll go in there. Remember, if you've got Tombow, you can give it a bit of a wiggle if you need to before you finally glue it down. And then a bit more Tombow on this bit, and that is the end. And I'm thinking what I'm going to do, actually, if I've got time, I might just do a little bit inside. So that there. Oh, that's upside down. Well spotted, Jill. There we go. That would have been a bit of a disaster if I hadn't noticed, wouldn't it? There we go. I have made cards back to front before, I have to admit. There we go. Now I'm just going to find another piece of Very Vanilla. Pan of Very Vanilla. We'll need to keep pressing, make sure this is well stuck down until the glue dries. Right, so I need to trim off a little bit of that. I'm going to come in with my trimmer, just trim this down. It should be 10.5, so I'll do it at 10, I think. That card blank should be 10.5. So let's see if that will fit. There we go. And then a bit off there, and that will do. I might try a little bit more off the other side, just trying to make it equidistant. I could have measured this, actually. It might have been better if I'd measured it, but I'm just doing it by eye. I do a lot of my crafting like this, I'm afraid, flying by the seat of my pants. Right, I don't know why that's not sticking more. I'm going to use my bone folder to give that a bit of a... I want that to glue down really well. It should do. The glue is quite strong. Right, there we go. Right, this panel is going to go in here, and then I'm going to stamp some of the little holly leaves on it just to finish it off. So what I might do is even take the envelope and print on that, stamp on that as well. And then that's a lovely coordinating card and envelope to send to somebody. And to be honest, I would love to get a card like this in the post, so I hope whoever I end up sending it to is happy with it. There we go. I'm wondering if it might have been better to use copper foiling still rather than the gold. I'd forgotten that the ribbon had copper foiling on it. Hey ho, live and learn next time. There we go. And then just come back in with those little holly stamps and my old olive stamp pad, because this is old olive I'm using rather than this one was using Mossy Meadow, I think that's Mossy Meadow, that colour. Right, so we're going to have two little scrolls, one there, one there, one there, and one there. There we go, and we are done. I hope you like my project. There we go. Hope you like that. Here's the one I made earlier, and here's today's one. So hope you like my project. If you want to buy anything that I've used apart from the DSP, which is out of stock, you can go down to my online shop and click through, and everything will be there for you. If you want to have a look at my blog post about this, I will try and put the measurements for the panels on there. You can just click through to my blog. And that's it. I think that's it from me today. Do come back and join me for some more Christmas crafting. We've got a bit to do yet. We're still only in November, so a bit of time yet to do a bit more Christmas crafting. Meanwhile, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!